Welcome back to the show. And if you're new here, this is where we don't just repeat palace press releases. We translate them, because there's what the royal family says, and then there's what they actually do. And lately, the gap between those two things has become impossible to ignore. Today's episode is about a moment that says a lot more than the palace probably intended. King Charles being heckled in public about Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. Not in some anonymous online comment section, in real life, on the street, in front of cameras. That's not just awkward, that's symbolic. For decades, British royals have moved through crowds protected not just by security, but by silence. People might grumble at home, but in public there was still that old culture of respect. That culture is breaking down. When someone feels bold enough to shout Andrew and Epstein at the king during a public walkabout, it tells us the public mood has shifted. This isn't about one heckler being rude. This is about frustration boiling over. The monarchy has tried to keep Prince Andrew's scandal sealed off in a back room labelled old news. But the public keeps dragging it back into the light. And every heckle is a reminder. You don't get to close this chapter just because you're tired of it. The latest Epstein documents released in the United States didn't just refresh old accusations, they reopened a wound the palace desperately wants to scar over. Prince Andrew's name is once again circulating, so is Sarah Ferguson's. And with each new mention, the palace's silence gets louder. Even parts of the British media, normally very gentle with the monarchy, are now nudging King Charles and Prince William with an uncomfortable question. Why haven't you said anything meaningful about this? Not, we're concerned. Not, our thoughts are with the victims. But something that shows real moral leadership. So far, that hasn't happened. Yes, the police have now opened an investigation involving Prince Andrew. But let's look carefully at what they're actually investigating. Not abuse, not trafficking, not exploitation. They're looking into whether Andrew improperly shared trade-related information with Jeffrey Epstein during his time as a UK trade envoy. Is that serious? Sure. Is it the most disturbing part of Andrew's association with Epstein? Not even close. To many people, this feels like choosing the safest possible angle of investigation. One that avoids the most morally explosive questions while still allowing officials to say, look, something is being done. It creates the appearance of accountability without the full weight of it. Buckingham Palace responded with a statement that sounds compassionate, but is built to protect the institution first. They say the king is profoundly concerned. They say Andrew must answer for his own conduct. They say they will cooperate with police if asked, and they repeat that their thoughts are with the victims. All of this sounds appropriate on paper. But here's the problem. The palace has had years to demonstrate what concern actually looks like in practice. Prince Andrew still lives comfortably. He still benefits from family protection. And the so-called unprecedented actions often come with financial safety nets that soften any real consequence. This isn't justice. It's damage control with polite wording. We've heard this language before. Thoughts with the victims. Serious concern. Unprecedented steps. These phrases sound strong until you notice they don't come with measurable change. No open reckoning, no transparent process. No clear acknowledgement of how deeply the institution failed to act sooner. It's a style of communication designed to calm outrage, not confront it. To manage perception, not deliver accountability. The heckling of King Charles might seem like a small, messy moment in a crowded news cycle. But it reflects something much bigger. The monarchy no longer controls the narrative the way it used to. People are no longer satisfied with polite silence and carefully crafted statements. They want institutions, especially powerful ones, to be honest about harm, not just sorry about optics. And if the royal family continues to treat this as a public relations problem instead of a moral one, the long-term damage won't be to Prince Andrew's reputation. It will be to the credibility of the monarchy itself. So the question isn't whether this scandal will fade. The question is whether the monarchy can adapt to a world where respect has to be earned, not assumed. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the channel for more deep dives into royal spin, media narratives, and the stories behind the headlines. Until next time, don't just listen to what institutions say. Watch what they actually do.